I wear many hats. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, homeowner, and amusingly, I'm also an amateur paranormal researcher. That might come as a strange oddity among many things, but despite having oracle card readings and things like that on my channel, I wanted to expand it to my other interests as well. And this is not just an interest, but it's something that I experienced firsthand, along with my husband, who was then my boyfriend, my mother, and my brother. The videos that you will see coming forward are going to be first-hand accounts, but they will not be talking about any details, anything like that are specific to locations, people, or anything of that nature for the sake of the people that live at these properties that I'll probably be discussing. I have been studying the paranormal for most of my life, and it is because I lived at this house that I actually started studying the paranormal, and it's because of this house that my mom got into the paranormal, my brother with his fascination with horror movies and things like that. And there are parts of it that still scare me. There are parts of it that, to this day, my husband and I have no explanation for. And hopefully, as time goes on, I will be able to discuss what I learned. But from my basic understanding, I go through my minimal training that I had in anthropology. I did a few years studying anthropology at Bridgewater State University. It was cultural anthropology. I've also been a practicing witch for since my teens. And for the last probably 7 or 8 years, I've been a practicing pagan. I've used all of those skills, all of those things that I've studied, all of the things that I've come to learn over time, and I've utilized a lot of that over the past couple of years in order to understand some of the things that we had gone through. And there were aspects of the house that we lived in that were very unique and very hard to explain. And it's for that reason that I began to dig deeper. So the following series that you will see will detail not just the town and the home that I lived in Sandwich, Massachusetts, but it will also explore other towns that are not just the notable ones that you come to find when you hear about haunted Cape Cod and things like that. Most of the time you hear about Barnstable, you'll hear about Down Cape. I will be exploring a lot of the more obscure angles that is known for. I will be exploring a lot of the more obscure angles that you see when it comes to the paranormal. I tend to explore the aspects of high strangeness, and I would say that this concept applies highly to many places on Cape Cod and along with sacred places and things like that. And I want a lot of you to take into account there is a very deep context of native culture that applies to a lot of these places. Much of that gets ignored in the stories that come with the colonizers. Many people tend to use the context of the Pilgrims as a positive story with a positive outlook, but the history says something different. I say these things in this context because there were some strange activity that I cannot explain, but it pertains to those stories and those connections and things like that. From what I am able to understand so far is that this wasn't a typical haunting. we had aspects of just about every possible haunting in this home. And like I said, I'm not going to mention locations. I'm not going to mention any landmarks. I am going to only mention Sandwich as a whole. But I'm going to start with this house, and I'm going to expand outward. And hopefully, as time goes on, I will be able to tell you more, and I'll be able to explain more. As for the series, it's going to be much stranger than most people expect. But isn't that the joy of it? So thank you all for stopping by to see this video. And I hope I can produce something that tells a great enough story so maybe you all will be interested in visiting the strange place that is Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Because I will tell you, it is pretty odd. Have a great night. Bye.